Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading. I'm going to use my cards with the purple pouch. That's what these cards are. If you are interested in any of the cards that I'm using, the links are down below. Also, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Also, since this is being posted Thursday night, I am going to check tomorrow morning my community page. I am going to be doing a live reading on Saturday. So tomorrow morning's video, I will tell you what time the live will be on Saturday. I'm going to look on my community post and see who has the most votes, and that's the time I'm going to do the readings on. So cast your vote, go to the main page, go to the community tab, and then look for that. And then we will be doing a live on Saturday. I'm excited, so join me then. I'm not the best technically savvy. I'm still learning how to figure that out. So bear with me. I'm trying. It's only going to be my second one, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So join me on Saturday. Oh, look at that. World popped out. Okay. Look at this. The cards just want to come out for you there, Capricorn. So we have the World, we have the Two of Swords, and we have the Tower. I feel that the Tower has been coming out a lot for Capricorn. I want to say like a year ago, the Tower was coming out a lot in my readings for Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn Sun and a Capricorn Rising. So I have like double Capricorn. And I feel like I want to say the beginning of last year, I want to say the Tower was coming out a lot for Capricorn. And I feel like there was kind of like a period of learning and growing. And now I almost feel like this second Tower phase for Capricorn is you kind of had this tearing down and this rebuilding, and then you had this learning, and now you're like rebuilding from, like, you're having another Tower to transform from what it is that you've learned from that information between these two Tower phases, I feel, for Capricorn. Look at that. We have the Lovers. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Look at this, love and money, right? And then we have the Five of Swords, Five of Wands. And then we have, for some reason, obviously I was feeling the Five of Swords energy in what you need to focus on, or this current energy that you have going on here, because I said that. So, and then we have for future energies, what's coming in for you. We have the Star, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have the Eight of Pentacles, and the bottom of the deck overall, the Fool. I love it because I feel like that's what this Tower is here. It's representing kind of that new beginnings that you're having. It's kind of like you've gone through this shift, but you're seeing things differently, and it's like out with the old and in with the new. So what you're struggling with is, I still feel that you are struggling with this Tower energy. Like you're trying to figure out, like, what's going to work for me, what's not going to work for me, what do I tear down, what do I rebuild, where do I go? Like, I still feel like you're in this energy of this confusion, and that's okay, because I still feel like you're in the process. Obviously this is a general reading, so we're all at different points in this cycle, you know, for Capricorns, you know, Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Rising, you know, whatever it may be. And I feel like you're kind of struggling with your choices and your decisions, and you're like, well, do I keep things the way they are, or do I tear things down, or do I rebuild things, or, you know, and I also feel like you may be struggling with these changes that you're going through. You know, you may be struggling with those too, because you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like everything is working against me. I feel like, you know, it just seems so much harder than I was thinking, or I feel like everything's going wrong, or everything's kind of piling up. But I feel that it's like this Tower is like so much as like, it's getting down to the bare bones, and to really, you know, in order to rebuild, because I feel like this second rebuilding for you with the Tower is something that is just, you have to really get down to the bottom in order to rebuild all. Like, you don't want to have the Tower come down halfway and then you build back on it, and then the Tower, the base of it has a lot of cracks and it has a lot of you know, it's not sturdy from all the way from the beginning. And I feel like that's what this Tower is kind of, again, taking it back down. And definitely for Capricorn, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of this roller coaster. I'm so tired of, I feel like every time I feel like I'm getting ahead, and then I feel like it's falling apart again. But I feel like it's almost like I was saying, is trying to get down to the bare bones. And I feel like you definitely have some confusion. You have some decisions to make. And I feel like you're kind of going in two different directions. So let's grab some more tarot, some other tarot cards here. And let's dive a little deeper on this, what you're struggling with this Tower. What else? We have Nine of Pentacles, we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Star card, and we have the partnerships. I feel like, I almost feel like you feel like every direction of your life is kind of like what you're struggling with. It's like finances, relationships, partnerships. It's like everything, you feel that you feel like everything's coming at you from every direction. Like there's no safe space to get away from. But I also feel like it's because it's almost like it's such a big shift for you, is that everything has to come down to the bare bones, because your perception in so many different areas, and you have so many changes coming in from so many different areas, right? Because you've done the work, you know, like you're trying, and you're trying to make changes. Like I was reading a lot the messages in the comments, and it sounds like there's many of you that are, you know, you're really thinking about yourself, you're really working on yourself, you're really kind of not letting other things bother you, and you're really focusing on you, and that's when these changes are really happening, because your perception, like, of the way you were seeing things has changed, and it's changed in so many different areas. It's changed in your career, in your job, in your money, in your finances, in your relationships, and your partnerships, and who you surround yourself with. And it's like you're relying on yourself for that guidance in that direction. And it's almost like that's what you feel like it's coming at you from all sides. But I feel like you're really clearing out the clutter, and you're really kind of you're removing what doesn't work for you, and you're in this process, and there's confusion. And I feel like this is the point where you don't want to give up, even though you feel like everything's coming at you. And like I've said for myself, this year has been, I've had a lot of struggles, but obviously I kept going, and I haven't given up, and I keep pushing through. And sometimes I don't push as hard as I should, but I've always kept this forward momentum. And then I also feel like this is one of the best years, because even though I feel like it's been one of the worst, it's also been one of the best, right? And I feel like there's so many amazing good things to come, but it's also about, I've had this inner peace and calmness within me, but it's also like I've had a lot of this turmoil. And I feel like that's kind of what you're going through here, especially with these Tower moments, and seeing this as it's happening for you, not that it's happening to you, because your overall energy is the Fool here. And it's like packing lighter, right? He just has that little pack on the back. He's not carrying all of his baggage and all of his luggage. Like, he's not carrying all of that. And He's like, I've got to let that go. And I feel like this is the process that you're going through. And this is what you have to realize, even though it's really hard when you're going through these challenges and you feel like it's coming at you from all directions, is that there are a lot of things. It's like you're that snake that's shedding its skin. Like you're shedding the whole entire skin. Like you're not doing part of it. You're doing the whole thing. And that entails a lot of things that are going on here. But I feel like the energy that wants to come in for you is so amazing. I mean, because again, this is this repeated energy here with the stars. It's saying is that this wants to come in for you. And I feel like it's that empowerment within yourself that you feel that you can handle anything, and it's making you stronger. And it's like, do you see this as taking you down, or do you see this as making you stronger? Although sometimes when you get overwhelmed, it's like, yeah, I feel like it's taking me down, right? But it's really like trying to make you stronger, and it's how you see it. So what it is you need to focus on, or in its current energies right here, is we have the Lovers, the Ace of Pentacles, and then we have this Five of Wands. And I feel like that's why I was saying is to battle for that and to not give up, because it's like you don't want to give up right before this switch, before this change, before what wants to come in. I always feel like, for some reason, I feel like this time of year is where a lot of changes happen for Capricorn. Like I felt this energy before at this time of the year, kind of the fall energy. Maybe it's because we're heading towards, right, those Capricorn birthdays and the Capricorn kind of season, and it's just like, it's almost like the change before the shift. And it's like, I feel like that's this too, is to keep going, right? Keep battling for it, for love and money, for career and relationships, and finding those things that you love to do. And look at this, we have the Tower again. Rebuilding your relationships, rebuilding your thoughts about money and your directions and what it is that you want to focus on, and how your career, because I feel like focusing on your career is very important, because you spend so much time, right, making money, and it's almost like you spend more time doing your job than you do with your relationships, just because it's a big part of the day. And when you're in your relationships, that's sort of the end of the day, or it's the weekends. So there's a lot of repeating. Sorry, I get the hiccups. I don't know why. Okay. Whew. Look at that. It frees you from it. Look at this. We have the Tower. We have the Nine of Swords, that you're worried and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But then it's like you break through that, and then you come through the other side, which is the Three of Cups. And like, you're happy that even though when you're going through it, you're like, I'm not happy. But when you get on the other side, it's a lightness, it's a happiness. And it's like, wow, I'm so glad that I went through that. I'm so glad that I did that. I'm so glad that I pushed myself to get through that. And it's that happiness that you have on the other side. This is what you have to be aware of, right? That you don't want to get stuck here. You don't want to get stuck here at the Nine of Swords, because it's like, well, look at the next one, right? It's that Three of Cups. It's that happiness. It's the lightness. And you don't want to get stuck there. And you're going through this energy. You're struggling with this energy. You're going through this energy, and you're like, I don't understand. I feel like everything's coming at me. I feel like everything's changing. I feel like everything's right. But then it's like to keep pushing yourself through in order to get to the other side. Look at this. And then we have the Lovers again. For this future energy that wants to come in for you, you have the Star, you have the Ace of Wands, and I feel like, and the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like it's all of it, it's new, it's different, right? In order to have a shift, in order to have a change, like everything is new. Like you're not gonna have part of it change. It's like big changes, right? It's across the board changes for you. And it's about how you see relationships. It's about how you are in relationships, and it's how you're reacting to them. And it's like who you're surrounding yourself with. Oh, finally coming to an end, right? That process, we went from the Nine of Swords to the Ten of Swords, like coming to an end. It's coming to an end. Look at this. And then you have the Ace of Cups. How cool is that? Look at that. And then I just so happened to pull the next card. We have the We have the Eight of Pentacles, and then we have the Page of Cups, and bottom of the deck we have, right, fight for yourself. Fight for these changes. Stand up for yourself. Look at this repeating energy. This is really cool. So you have the Star twice, you have the Lovers twice, you have the Eight of Pentacles twice. For me, I feel the Eight of Pentacles represents a different way of doing things. It's like grinding, like not giving up. Like, look, he's had all of this work that he's been doing. He's creating all of these pentacles. Like, he's sitting down, he's getting down to business, he's grinding, he's making things happen. But I feel like it's a renewed focus for you. And I feel like it's a different focus, but I feel this sense of relief, this sense of relationships, but I also feel that it has to do with the relationship that you have with yourself, which I feel is the most important relationship. Because that's where everything starts. That's where everything begins. And if you don't believe in yourself and you don't have a good relationship with yourself, and your thought process is negative and you're fighting against yourself, then nothing else is going to go anywhere. That's how I feel. Obviously, right? Choose what works for you and leave what doesn't. So, and we all have our own perspective, and we all have our own way that we see things. But for me, I feel that it's about how you feel about yourself and loving yourself. And I feel like there's, let's see, which ace we have the, we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Wands, we have the Ace of Cups. We don't have the Ace of Swords, but you have 3 aces, and you have the Fool. There's new beginnings here. You have 2 towers, right? It's a lot, right? The negative with the 2. As I say, like, I feel like the Tower is definitely negative, going through hard stuff, but I also welcome the Tower because obviously there's things that need to be worked on. And that brings in the new, right? Rebuilding to the new. It's like this energy is trying to tell you, like, these new beginnings, and to hang in there. Don't give up on it, right? Don't fall in. Maybe before you would fall into that trap of the 9 of Swords, and then you would get stressed and you would get anxious and you'd get worried. And it's like your perspective of, okay, this anxiety is from looking towards the future and saying, well, I don't see things getting better. You know, things aren't going to get better. Things are always going to be the same. These things always come in towards me. But if you're working in the moment as it is, so focusing on those things that make you happy, right? What are those tools that you have that can give you that boost, that can give you, is it a person that you can talk to so you can release things? Is it something that you can do where you can go, or you can do for yourself to have that self-care where it's like, okay, it's going to be okay. Right? What are those things that you can do so that you're in the moment and you're looking at everything, things that are in your plus column, not worrying about, okay, I'm not sure how this is going to happen or where this is going to go, but being in the moment and say, what can I take care of now? What can I deal with now? What am I feeling now? How can I change this attitude now? What can I work on now, right? Doing the grind, right? What can I grind on now? What can I work on now? What can I focus on now? Right? The past is the past. I can't change it. The future is going to be whatever it is. So what can I work on now? Right? Working on this right now. And to believe in yourself and to not give up on that. All right, I could go on forever about that. I won't. All right, let's grab a Whispers of Healing for this reading, because I feel like healing. The last couple weeks, I feel like it's been, you know, the healing readings, right? To heal yourself, right? Don't cut the wounds open even more by having that negative talk, or looking at the negative things, or putting yourself in negative situations, or surrounding yourself by negative people, right? Don't cut the wound deeper. Find a way to heal yourself and to close that wound, and to let that close up and not reopen it. We have negativity. See, That's what I was saying, is that negativity, and that's with that Nine of Swords, and I feel like you're focusing on some negativity. Of course, we all do, right? I mean, we all do throughout the day, but it's like we have to catch ourselves with that, and we have to say, I've got to refocus that. I've got to, all the energy that you're focusing on the negativity, take that and switch that towards, use that as fuel, right? And if you're saying, well, nothing's going to change, nothing's going to happen for me, and be like, you know what, I'm not going to accept that negativity, and I'm going to use that negativity as fuel, right, to get to the grind and start making things happen for me, right? That I'm not going to accept negativity, that's not what it's going to be, that frustration and that anger. It's like, you know what, how can I get past this? How can I move forward from this? What are those things that I can do? And like I've said before, it's just, sometimes it's the energy that you surround yourself. So in your living environment, what are some things that you can do to change that up and to change the energy? Like I was saying a while ago, is that I totally changed all of the furniture in my bedroom, and it totally gave me a new vibe, a new energy. I didn't do anything except for change the furniture around, and you'd be surprised how that can really affect when you start decluttering, right? Do you have a lot of stuff around your living space that's just like clutter everywhere? Can you declutter things and just take a box and put things away and kind of have it minimalist? And then once you start feeling better, either get new things or add things back in. Just doing that and shifting your energy. I also have my sage, and I'll sage my living space, and that can make a difference for me. Or you can, what are those rituals? What are those things that you can do that can make a difference? You'd be surprised how that can change the energy, right? That there's negativity that's surrounding you, and that's, what is the heart of the negativity? What is that? Look at that, focus it. How can I change it? How can I work on that? And then I felt like grabbing a animal oracle card. Look at that, bat spirit. We have a rebirth is assured. How cool is that? Again, that goes with the Fool energy. You have a rebirth here, and that's what I was saying, and that's why you have the Two Towers, is because it's a complete rebirth. It's not partial, it's not kind of sorta. It's like the big thing, like a big rebirth going on here. And that's why so many things are changing, right? So many things are shifting, and it's all different areas of your life, because it's a rebirth, it's a new beginning, it's a big change, it's a big shift here. It's not part of your life. I feel like it's we got the Pentacles and the Cups and the Lovers and the partnerships, Four of Wands and business, and it's all things. So it's a big shift, right? Just being born, which we can't remember, is a huge thing, right? You're going from that safety of the womb out into the world, right? And it's a process that you go through, and I feel like that's what you kind of have to realize, and that's but now it's like, okay, what is the negativity? What can I focus on? How can I work on that? All right, so I'm going to grab a card from my Witch Casket Empowerment deck for this reading for Capricorn. We have write about your body. Write down 3 good things about your body. No time for body shaming here. Your body is a beautiful vessel carrying a divine soul through a difficult world. Show it some love. And I kind of feel like that goes with the rebirth, right? And again, it's about writing down positive things. Writing down, you don't have to write it, you can think it, within yourself. Again, getting rid of the negativity. Is it about your body? Do you have negative thoughts about your body? Okay. That could be something that needs to be a rebuild here, right? because you have to, like I said before, is that you have to love yourself. You have to think positively about yourself. And is there something about some things or something about your body that you don't like? So you have to be aware of that. Is that what you're focusing on? And is that causing negativity around you? So, right, or think about, right, 3 good things about your body. And if that's hard for you to do, hard for you to think about, like, where does your mind go when you first think of that? Is it, you know, does it automatically go to a negative? Well, that's a trigger right there for you, right? So that's something that you have to work on. It's being aware of where the negativity is coming from, and really to the heart of the problem, and being aware of, well, if somebody says, write down 3 good things about my body, my mind is immediately going to, well, there's nothing good about that, right? It's to this, it's to that, it's not enough this, it's not this. Okay, so what? Light bulb, right? Your mind just went to negativity. That's not how it should be. An area for you to think about, and an area for you to work on. All right, and now I'm going to grab a magical incantation for this reading. I think one flipped over. It did. Okay. Rest. Grant me the time I need to rest. Once restored, I'm at my best. Right? Take some rest. Take some time to yourself to have that quiet time where you are not around distractions. That's what I've been saying lately in my readings, is even though a lot of people don't want to do that because they're like, well, if I take that time to myself, then I'm thinking of all of these things, right? All of these things are coming into my mind. I'm being flooded by all of this stuff. Well, that's because that's stuff that you have to work on. There's stuff that you have to see, stuff that you have to recognize, right? And then once you can work on that and you can clear it, then when you have the quiet time, then your mind is quiet because it's not going to all of these things, right? That's another thing, that if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have quiet time because that's crazy time in my head. Well, again, light bulb, there's another thing that you have to work on. There's another thing that you have to recognize. There's another thing that you have to do, that you have to focus on. Doesn't mean it has to happen all in one day or all at one time, but it's something for you to be aware of, right? If you're trying to do that self-love, that self-care, you're trying to figure out the root of the problems, right? That it doesn't have to do with relationships or can't get a job or this or money or whatever. Like, what's the deeper level of it, right? So those are 2 areas, right, that you, if you're struggling with that, okay, so that's more of the root of the problem. And that could also be why we have the 2 towers there, is because time to do that deeper work and to see that, acknowledge it, not gloss it over, not put it to the back burner. Of course, you have to do whatever it is you decide is best for you. I'm not telling you what you have to do. But that's what the tarot readings are, is to bring stuff to the surface for you to see, okay? What do you need to work on? Like, this energy is trying to surround you. It's this, if you were attracted to this reading and you're still hanging in there and you're still trying to hear this message, the cards are trying to tell you something. And it's like, absorb the message, absorb the information, and you know, take that and learn from it. It's the message is trying to get through to you, and what you do with it obviously is your choice and your decision. But if it gives you something to think about, and I feel like that's what tarot cards are, is to give you something to think about, right? To get your mind going and your mind working and processing. But that's just my personal opinion. But that's why I love tarot, is because it will stir those things up. And it makes you think. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.